Prejudgment, an attitude, belief, or impression formed in advance.
Equality, being the same in status, worth, and value.
Hi, I'm Shayla Carter.
And I'm Bayi Aben.
Today, we are going to take you on a journey to discover a big problem that we are facing in this generation. We need to be able to identify the problem so we can stop it.
We believe that the hardest thing to do is to change someone's mindset. We're not here to glorify these subjects, but inform the world on what actually is going on.
We hope that by watching this, you will have a true definition of equal.
And you too will be inspired.
Many people use the words like faggot and sissy, but don't even know where the word originated from.
The term faggot originated in medieval times when a faggot was a bundle of sticks used to stoke a fire. The term came to refer to the burning of gay men and lesbians, which also occurred at this time.
Flamer and flaming faggot also originated from this experience.
I realized I was a lesbian when, I want to say 8th grade, because I never really knew what being gay or lesbian was, because my parents are like from Mexico, so that's not something that they talk about or is like something you're supposed to be like. My parents reacted to me being lesbian. I think it was just hard because of how I dressed. They didn't like that it was so noticeable, and I guess they wanted to hide it, and like they just wanted to pretend like it wasn't true, like it would go away. They wanted it to go away. What I think when people stereotype me is kind of like every story is different. They don't really like you don't know. Some people, it's okay, like their parents didn't tell them nothing bad about being lesbian or whatever they are different. And mine, it was like harder, like it took them years to be okay with it, but now, I mean, it's really good now.
I have been discriminated because of my sexuality with teachers, especially because me and my girlfriend, we will be in the halls not hugging, not holding hands, a good amount away from each other, and there'll be another straight couple across from us making out, and they won't say anything to them, but then they'll tell me and my girlfriend like, hey, not in school, go to class. And it's like you don't see them right across from us, literally. And there was an incident where me and my girlfriend actually got called into the office because we were doing PDA, which we weren't even holding hands, we were just talking. And he said it respectfully, like to watch our PDA, but we were just talking, and it was clear that we were talking. I think the Judson Alliance group is a good place for people to come out and just be comfortable with one another and talk about our stories, and just, it's a really great group. It's like therapeutic, so it's really nice, and we're thinking about doing like more fundraisers and to raise money so we could help people and like get our name out there. So
recently, race has been a topic of discussion between students and adults alike. After the events of Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, the idea of race being a factor in the way we judge someone seems to be a discussion that doesn't go away.
It seems like society has reverted to the times of the 50s, where a group of people were judged so harshly by the color of their skin.
We live in a society where racism, although many may not want to say it, is alive and well.
In Mobile, Alabama, the first day we moved to Mobile, Alabama, my husband got a job there. We moved there. I went to a local shop, a local store around the corner of the house. So I was moving around to see what I can buy and put in my house. A lady came behind me, and she was moving behind me, and she said, we don't accept ABT, we don't accept ABT. I didn't know what ABT was. So I didn't even know she was talking to me. So I keep going, we don't accept ABT. So I moved, I turned around and said, Mom. She said, Mom, I'm talking to you, we don't accept ABT. I said, what do you mean by ABT or something? She said, ABT means food stamp. I said, how do they do here? Do you have to pick things and come to the counter to pay before they take ABT, or you have to tell somebody when they enter the store? She said, I use ABT, that's why I thought you have ABT. Then I was so angry, I was shouting there. I said, I'm going to call 411 now. The boss came and they told her to apologize. According to me, from being born in Africa, moving to America at an older age, at 26, I believe that living as a minority in America, you have to be well educated. If you are educated, you will fit anywhere, no matter of the races.
Teenage mothers have undergone discrimination in numerous ways, and this mostly stems from the idea that teenage mothers will neglect their children.
Teenage mothers face the stigma of society and often don't have the parental support. Teenage mothers are now forced to be adults.
Some are even forced to make difficult decisions to place their child up for adoption or even having to undergo an abortion.
I was 14 years old when I had my first child. I also had a child at 17. My parents were very upset with me when they found out about both of my pregnancies. My father didn't speak to me for my first pregnancy. He didn't speak to me until I delivered. With my first pregnancy, I hid the pregnancy for 7.5 months. I did not tell a soul. So that was scary, and I was terrified to tell my parents. With my second pregnancy, my mother didn't talk to me for about 3 months. But I have to say, my family, they were still very supportive. I was still able to come back and speak with them and explain myself. It was very embarrassing for myself and my family, but they were still very supportive after, the initial shock of me becoming pregnant. When you're a child having children, you're looked at as promiscuous, but I wasn't promiscuous. I was stupid, I'll say. I was uneducated, immature, and so it didn't make me promiscuous. It just, it made me all of these other things. But no, I wasn't promiscuous. But people did view me that way, as promiscuous. Something I would tell our young girls today is, if you're not pregnant, be aware of your emotions. Don't go through it, try not to be that statistic of a teen mom. It's very hard. I must say, being a teen mom was extremely hard, and it's still hard. But you can make it through if you do become a teen mom. If you're not, and you're in a position where you could become one, just be aware, be smart about it, ask questions, be open. Don't hide it like I did as a teenager. That's not good, because who knows what could have happened. And thank the Lord that nothing happened. So I just say, be mindful. If you have questions, find a person that you feel comfortable speaking with. And it doesn't always have to be a bad thing, whether it happens or not. But it's just, try to avoid it. Live your life. Be a teenager. Have fun. Don't be a mom at 14 and 17. Enjoy your life.
In the 21st century, sexism is still a big problem. We live in a society in which women make 71 cents to every dollar a man makes. A society in which we've never had a woman leader. A society in which women are exploited sexually in mass media.
Unfortunately, we have to admit to ourselves that we live in an unequal nation.
When I was in high school, so this is back in the 70s, 1974, 73, 74, when I was a junior in high school, I was the first female to get a job in the local area, not all of Birmingham, but in East Lake and Birmingham. I was the first female to get a job in a gas station, and it was a full-service gas station, and they didn't want to hire a woman, a girl. And one of my best friends and I went and applied for a job. They had the openings, and they said, well, you can have a job if you can find a shirt with red, white, and blue piping. It has to be a white shirt, and it has to have red, white, and blue piping, and we happened to find them. So we found 4 shirts. We bought them. We each had 2. We also had to launder our own shirts. The boys' shirts, the men's shirts, were cleaned for them. Their uniform was supplied, but we had to clean our own. And one day I poured transmission fluid all down the front of this white shirt, and transmission fluid is red, And they said, well, you know, you have to get that out. And I did. And they were very surprised. And I was told if I didn't have a clean white shirt with red, white, and blue piping, I couldn't have the job. Now, my daughter went to Judson, and she was in Mr. Lauderdale's automotive class. And I didn't want her in it because I said, you're not going to want to have dirty hands. But she took the class anyway, and she did very well. She only did it for 1 year, and it's a 2-year program, and he allowed her to take it, which was unusual for anyone to take the 2-year automotive. She did only 1 year of it. But because of that, she applied for a job in the back shop of a major national company. And my daughter's name happens to be Shawn, S-H-A-W-N. And they went through the applications and saw her name, saw that she had gone to Judson. She was in Mr. Lauderdale's class. He has a wonderful reputation in the area. So they called her for an interview. And when she answered the phone and they asked to speak with Shawn, she said, this is she. And they said, oh, you're a girl. And, well, you're the only one qualified, so you can come in for the interview. So she went in for the interview, and they said, you're not going to be able to get the job because you're a woman. And she said, I either get the job or I sue you. It's against the law for you not to hire me if I'm qualified. If I don't get the job because someone else is better qualified, then that's fine. And she got the job, and they ended up loving her. I mean, she's a good worker. I do think that things are getting better. I think that it could get even better. At Judson High School, it would be nice if I didn't hear the N-word every time I walk down the hall. I am appalled that students will talk that way to each other, that black students are not offended when someone else does it, whatever color they are, that they don't understand what the people, I mean, the movie Selma is out now, watch it. What did those people march for? For you to insult each other? This is not what we are meant for. We can do better. We can raise our boys so that we don't have sexism. We as women are responsible for that. But we as human beings are responsible for stopping the racism. And Judson's a good place to start that.
Believe it or not, these dilemmas will hurt us unless we put a stop to it. Just because someone looks or acts a certain way does not make it okay to undervalue them.
Just because I'm African American does not mean I will get pregnant or drop out of high school. Just because I'm a woman does not define me as weak or incapable.
And just because we are young does not mean we cannot change the world.
Kindness is doing something and not expecting anything in return. Kindness is respect and helping others without waiting for someone to help one back.
In this program, we wanted to document real stories of Judson students, friends, and families who have undergone discrimination throughout their lives and the prevailing moments that they endured.
Through this documentary, we want others to promote humanity, hope, and friendships. No matter the person, no matter the story, we are all one and the same.
No one can change your differences. We should accept them, yet we continue to create barrier between groups or individuals.
Not trying to embark on change will be our greatest fault. No one can change our current statuses unless we change ourselves, and no one can change the world unless we care for each other.
We would like to give you a proposal. During the upcoming 2 weeks, this will be known as jumping into action. During these 2 weeks, we would do nothing but good.
Day 1, hold the door for someone.
Day 2, tell all of the office counselors and secretaries thank you.
Day 3, campus cleanup. Clean up all the trash around the school.
Day 4, rocketgrams. Write a note of appreciation to teachers and principals.
Day 5, in the cafeteria, we are going to make a big poster thanking the cafeteria workers.
Day 6, give a high five to a police officer and hall monitors.
Day 7, give someone a compliment.
Day 8, buy someone something at lunch like a cookie, a bag of chips, or even a Gatorade.
Day 9, we will have homework buddies. If you're really good in a subject, help a student out during tutoring.
Day 10, pay it forward day. Do 3 random acts of kindness to 3 random people. Those 3 people will do the same, and so on and so on. It will be an everlasting chain.
And don't forget to educate people.
Tell them the facts. If people don't realize what is happening, how could they fix it?
We know that these issues won't change in a day, but it's a start. I'm Shayla Carter.
And I'm Bayi Aben, and I would like to thank all of our sponsors, Mr. Cabrera, Mr. Bourbois, Mrs. Kowalik, Mr. Hernandez, and all of our participants in our video.
You guys have truly been amazing. Thank you.